Yeah.
While we're daydreaming about coffee and what to do, they are going to plummet. So far, looking like Sunday could be our coolest day. Currently into La Jolla, 75 degrees, dealing with overcast skies. The dew point in the upper 60s. It is extremely muggy today. It'll stay on the humid side tomorrow, and then the drier air comes through along with it being cooler right in time for Friday. It's also roasting in Poway, around 90 degrees. Your winds 11 miles per hour, bringing in that humidity. All of it as we have this ridge still in place. You can see that jet stream with that rise to the north is beginning, though, to shift a little bit further out to the east and making way for our trough, which is going to drop our temperatures. Here it is, getting ready to slam out through Seattle and even into Portland. That could drop our temperatures 5 to 15 degrees below normal for the weekend. Hour by hour, starting you off 6 o'clock tonight. Still the lower 70s for the coast under overcast skies, the lower 80s further inland. Tomorrow morning, heading out to work, dense fog is possible for portions along I-15, waking up around 64 in Lakeside, 67 degrees up through Encinitas. By the afternoon, we're still looking for mostly sunny skies into the mid-90s for Campo, Borrego at 100. But look at the difference by Friday with that cooler air. It's going to be a little bit drier as well. We're now only talking about the 80s into Campo and around the upper 70s out toward Mira Mesa. 7-day forecast, watching that temperature trend going down. 76 tomorrow, 74 into your Friday for heading into the 90s by Sunday as well. Let's look at your 7-day forecast. Jason, over to you.
All right.
Talk about the tropics and really get down into the details for you, especially if you have relative forecast. It's going to take that system to the south of the islands. So that's the good news. It's not going to see a direct landfall. However, if you travel along these lines, it's the right side that always gets the strongest storm surge and also the heaviest rain. So forecasting now for the Big Island to pick up anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of precipitation, isolated amounts up to 15 inches. Lester is still 1,000 miles away from the Big Island, and that one forecast to get a little bit closer by the time they get to the weekend, late Saturday night, early Sunday. Now, it's most likely going to miss impacting the Big Island. However, still impacting Oahu is possible, as well as into Kauai. Now, doesn't look like it's going to be very strong. In fact, it looks like most of these models continue to trend further to the north, so it might just completely miss them altogether. And also, let's not forget about what's happening out over toward Florida, okay? Tropical Depression Hermine. This has already produced 7 inches of rain just to the south of Tampa and Sarasota. Nothing today has been severe, but that will change for tomorrow as they're anticipating maybe a few isolated tornadoes beginning to pop up. You can see the storm system still close to about 300 miles away from Tampa, and it's actually forecast to gain some strength and possibly move out over toward the Florida Panhandle sometime late tomorrow night, early Friday morning. So if you know anyone who goes to Florida State or lives anywhere between Panama City and out through Cross City, they're going to be dealing with the strongest wind and rain. Storm surge anticipated to be up to about 7 feet in some locations. And look at the shading here. In yellow, isolated rainfall totals of 20 inches precipitation. And that's really just for about the next 3 days to be coming their way. While they're dealing with rain, we're going to be dealing with a little bit of a cool down, getting a little bit closer out toward the weekend. What we're watching is this trough right here beginning to enter out over toward the Pacific Northwest. That's going to keep our temperatures a little bit on the milder side. We'll notice tomorrow them going down about 5 degrees and then below average once we get through Friday and the holiday weekend. Tomorrow morning, 7:30, heading out the door will be in the 60s. Remember, the fog will be around. By the time we get to the afternoon, 88 Lakeside, Fallbrook 83, Oceanside around 75 degrees. We get cooler on Friday, though. Friday we go below normal. These values continuing to tumble. Now we're only talking about the 70s in Escondido, the lower 70s for the coastline. 7-day forecast, 76 degrees tomorrow, and the deserts are looking at 106. Netta.
Thank you, Sabrina.